Hello and welcome to game number 7 between ThomasHiatt and ZLO in the best of 15 between the two. The game was played on Loki, 10x10 map, classic, seen often in the ladder pool and in tournaments pretty frequently. Now, ThomasHiatt on the bottom left side with gray UEF. Looks like he's going to go for second land, followed by third air. ZLO building second air. Now it is tradition on Loki for the players to send their initial engineers to the back part of the base where they can access this quite well protected expansion, which includes 2 mexes and hydro. And usually players will do an attack move rally so that the engineers can reclaim these trees. All of these trees are complete bundles, and they hold quite a lot of energy for the players to snack on early on. So in Loki, when engineers are sent to reclaim these trees, the players can build their factories with fewer P-gens. So we can see ThomasHiatt building 3 P-gens before his second land factory. ZLO with looks like 4 P-gens queued up before his second air, diligently reclaiming the back trees with his engineers to get that energy boost. ThomasHiatt almost finished with his second land factory already. ZLO still working on his second air. Now, ZLO did send a hunter very early on. In fact, it was the first unit built by that land factory. Now, ZLO is hoping to sneak around Thomas's main base here and access these engineers in the back where they're vulnerable and ill-protected. ThomasHiatt does have a scout there, though. Does it see? Yes, it does. Sees ZLO's hunter sneaking by. And ThomasHiatt now reacting, sending tank, 2 tanks to defend against that hunter, but that hunter's almost reached the engineers. And the hunter makes contact. ThomasHiatt maneuvering his engineer, doesn't want to lose it, building walls to defend, but unsuccessfully. And those strikers are missing. The hunter, it gets another kill before being taken out. We see a bomber here now from ZLO. And that was a nasty 1-2 combo from ZLO, but this engineer quite hardy. But Thomas isn't microing it, and ZLO manages to take out a 3rd engineer. So not a great start for ThomasHiatt, losing 3 engineers at the very, very beginning of the game. And ZLO already taking out or reclaiming all of these trees. ZLO winning air as well. ThomasHiatt still has quite a lot of trees to reclaim here. He's far from starting on that hydrocarbon. Very, very delayed start for ThomasHiatt. Now, ZLO doesn't appear to have expanded here to the top expansion yet. He's been reclaiming with his engineers, and no engineer coming down here to the bottom. This tank does have a kill. Did I miss some action? Not quite sure. There's no engineer wreck down here, so I'm not sure if this tank actually took out an engineer or not. Not sure what it took out. regardless, no expansion here yet for ZLO. So Thomas might actually still be ahead with more mexes and more mass income than ZLO. ZLO putting a lot of focus on those raids, not enough focus on expansion. And that bomber's still alive. ZLO decisively winning air. He does have some options now to do some transport drops here. Can make it pretty difficult for Thomas to take this expansion on the top left. Slower to sneak a transport in, build a point defense or a factory. Thomas right now ill-equipped to take the expansion so far and defend against transports, so ZLO has an opening here that he could consider. But right now it's Thomas doing most of the aggressive maneuvers. 5 tanks taking out that small group of Mantis, and now 5 versus 3 here. These strikers will have no problem taking out those engineers. 2 engineers go down, and this one may be in danger as Thomas's tank avoids this group of Mantis. Those Mantis ignore this tank entirely. Engineer now vulnerable to a raid, and another raid from ThomasHiatt descending to the bottom right with these tanks. ZLO sees them, but these engineers are completely defenseless right now. ThomasHiatt sending a drop despite having lost air, hoping to grab this bottom expansion. And what's this? Thomas's ACU. I didn't even notice this already. At ZLO's doorstep. Thomas taking a very, very aggressive approach. Changes the order for these tanks. No longer raiding this bottom right corner, but reinforcing this assault on ZLO's expansion in front of this big mountain here. So these tanks about to rendezvous with ThomasHiatt's ACU. Gonna start a nasty battle here. ZLO, is he gonna start a point defense? He has enough build power. And quite a lot of land spam headed to reinforce Thomas's ACU. That's looking a little scary actually. And a drop, another drop from ThomasHiatt headed to the top expansion. Who needs an ACU here when a drop can do the same? In fact, ThomasHiatt has units here with his ACU, and ZLO does not. ZLO's reinforcements cut off. ZLO changing his Mantis move order, going from the top, going to the top side, now desperately trying to support his ACU, but it looks like they will arrive in time. Thomas does have quite a lot of reinforcements, but they're trickling in slowly, and ZLO may be able to escape. Not that many land factories for ZLO though, only 4 land factories. Oh, I'm sorry, there's 6, including 2 here at that expansion. Now, I do think ZLO is well enough equipped to defend against Thomas's assault. He has to back off a little more though. Might have to give this expansion to Thomas, but that's the only way to save his ACU right now, and its health has dropped to 4,000 now, and it's getting actually quite dangerous. Thomas not relenting, moving forward. He does have 6,000 health on his ACU. ZLO now down to 2,500, and it's starting to look pretty bad. Has this game gone to ThomasHiatt? ZLO with only 700. Okay. right before ThomasHiatt dropped down to 2500. ZLO's ACU taken out. Well done by Thomas. That was very close to a draw there, but Thomas did have a couple bombers accelerating ZLO's ACU, losing all of its health. Sorry, that was... How can I rephrase that? Thomas killed ZLO's ACU more quickly with those bombers, so that saved his own ACU from exploding. So well done by ThomasHiatt with a unexpected rush with his ACU. No gun upgrade, just a strong, hardy UEF ACU. Ruining ZLO's plans. ZLO didn't have many reinforcements, and Thomas was spamming with all of his might. ZLO spending more resources on upgrading his mexes, so he did not have the proper number of units to deal with that assault. So well done by ThomasHiatt. That was a quick game, and thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next cast.